This week's show brought to you by Roosters, a fun casual joint. Frank Shoup, Georgetown's big name in cars.
Welcome everybody to the Scott County Lady Cardinals News Graphic Coaches Show 42nd District Playoff Edition. And by the time you watch this, we will know whether or not Scott County's in the finals, and we're certainly going to knock on wood. Is there wood here? We're going to speculate and project that they're probably going to handle Frederick Douglass in Tuesday night's semifinal game, which would get them to the 11th Region Tournament once again, which would get them to the 42nd District Final, where they would play either Henry Clay or Bryant Station. I'm going to say that one's pretty safely in the Henry Clay camp too, so we may be looking at round 3 between the Cardinals and Blue Devils. A team that the SC handled pretty easily twice, and let's be honest, they handled the district pretty easily 7 times. 7 games, 7 running clocks. You know, it's tough. I wouldn't want to be Coach Helton in this situation. I mean, I think he's going to keep his team in order, and he's going to know what buttons to push and what right things to say. But as he says, as he's told us more than once this year, these players are smart. They can read the scoreboard, they can read the papers, they can read the discussion boards and the polls and the rankings. They know where they stand going into this thing. They are the prohibitive favorite, there's no question. Why are they the prohibitive favorite? Let's look back at the season a little bit. 26-2, 16 consecutive wins going into that semifinal game. If they win that one, it'll be 17 straight. That'll match the longest winning streak since the 2010 team that reached the state final before losing that year. And that season-ending streak of 17 games is what got them there. So some past experience prerequisite, certainly for the Heltons, as they've been here before. They've had some even longer winning streaks than that, but this program, as Coach has said, has kind of found its relevance again on a statewide level. And a lot of people now marking Scott County as that team on their schedule they want to take down, and certainly the district teams don't need any extra motivation. So you got to be careful this week, and it's something worth watching as they go into these games. They're probably going to be a little closer than we saw the first time around, or it might take the Lady Cards a little longer to pull away. The one overtime win, 2 close wins at the Toyota Classic really kind of springboarded this team into February, where they have just been rolling as of late. And of course, the big 3 have averaged all around 15, 16 points a game. You have Malia Owens, you have Peyton Riddle, you have Morgan DeFore, who recently scored her 1,000th point. But I think it's the emergence of some of those other players, Juliet Smith getting more comfortable as that knee injury becomes further in her past, and she's just sparking both the offense and the defense right now. Malaya Williams, limitless potential, as we've said, at 6'2", but you think of her as a center, but it's what she does on defense, and really with those point guard skills that she has, running the secondary break has really sparked the Lady Cards as of late. And you see players coming off the bench, Zephaniah Gray, Lexi Hoffman, the list goes on. Zakiah Holt has been a starter most of the year and has just given the Cards that lift. So you hate to leave anybody out, but this team goes 11 deep minimum, and that bodes well as you go into the tougher games. And as you look forward to the 11th Region, honestly, on paper, the 11th Region looks like you have Scott County and then Lafayette, and then basically everybody else kind of jockeying for position. It's not looking like it should be overly taxing, but again, you got to depend on where the draw is and who you play in those early rounds. But things shaping up well as we go into the end of February and early March for the Lady Cards. We spoke with Coach Helton about what's coming up, what to expect this week, what to expect beyond, even though coaches don't like to look that far beyond. We'll see what Coach Helton had to say about the 42nd District playoffs.
The Lady Cards' challenging schedule has prepared them for whatever lies ahead.
0-0 technically, but with 30, 28 really good practices in preparation for this. So we're ready. There's no doubt in my mind we're ready. We've seen almost everything you could think of draw up, and I think we're just ready to play. I mean, we've had a few days off here. We've had some good practice. We've had some time. We had some rest. We're ready. We need to play. The ball needs to go up. We need that first game, but we'll play the second game because that's what they tell us to do on Tuesday night, and let's go play.
Tuesday was a win-or-else game, and Scott County easily handled Frederick Douglass.
You're one-game season. I mean, that's how we're approaching it. one game. You have to win one game or your season's over. And, you know, we talked about today, at the end of this week, you know, there's, you know, 100, 140 teams, their season's going to be over. And, you know, there's going to be a large number in the state of Kentucky between Monday and Tuesday go home. So definitely, I don't want to say nervous about it, but at the same time, you know there's a lot on that game because we've had an incredible season, and we want this season to continue.
Scott County dominated the 42nd district, but doesn't take the tournament lightly.
Anytime you play a team 3 times, you know, they're going to make adjustments. The catch is, you know, scholarship players, you know, we're going to make adjustments as well, you know. So you just got to go play the game. You know, on paper, there's some things that we can do better. In watching film, there's some things that we can do better. And, you know, I know, you know, the other 3 teams in our district are, you know, I would say they're expecting to do better against us this time. And, you know, our job is to go out and take them out of any rhythm, take them out of any, you know, hope that they have early.
Coach Helton has found the right combinations with a talented roster.
I think it's been accepting them. I mean, we had to find out what roles we were, you know, working with. We had to tinker with some lineups, and then, you know, in the ultimate scheme of things, people had to accept their roles. And I think at this point in the season, they've done a good job of that. You know, our starters are doing what they're supposed to do as starters. The kids coming off the bench are doing what they're supposed to do coming off the bench, you know, being that spark. So right now, it's day by day. We're still working to get better. You know, we're by no means putting in cruise control. We're working to get better every day, and we want this season to continue. I mean, there's high expectations. You know, you can't hide from it. You can't run from it. We have high expectations, and you know, the way we're going to get there is day by day, and, you know, getting better day by day.
Practice for the past week has focused on everything the Lady Cards do best.
At this point, we're about 98% us, and the other 2% me. Just trying to calm down and be relaxed and knowing that they, you know, feeling good about it. But yeah, we've not even talked about the other teams yet. You know, as time goes on and progresses, we'll touch on it. But it's all about us. You know, it's what we do. We want to make the other team adjust to what we do. You know, every second you spend on somebody else, you're taking away from your team. And you know, what we've done this year is it's been pretty effective. And you know, teams are going to scheme differently against us. Teams are going to come out and they're going to try to knock us off rhythm because we are a rhythm team. But it comes down to, it's all about us. And that's not selfish. That's not overconfidence. That's just, it's the way it is. It's about us. We want to dictate how the game goes, offensively and defensively.
The team's report card for the season continues to improve, according to the coach.
Let's call it a strong B. We can improve, and we're going to find ways to improve. And if you know, we come out and play really well, I'm still going to make up something that we improve on or need to improve on, and they know that. And you know, it's not the Nick Saban approach, but we're going to find something to pick about, and we can get better. You know, I do think we've done very good this season. You know, at the end of that 5th game, ask me again, and we'll reevaluate our grade. Maybe we need to do you know, corrections or something, and I'll reevaluate that. But right now we're a strong B. We're very good at what we've been doing. I'd love to see us a little stronger defensively. You know, even though we're scoring 80, 90 a game, we're giving up, you know, 10 points, probably too many that we don't need to give up. And I also think we're leaving about 10 points on the floor at times. And, you know, everybody's wanting to stay at that century mark and hit 100. And, you know, maybe if we do our jobs early a little better, at least we'll be in the area of those high numbers.
Tuesday's game was Scott County's 3rd consecutive effort above the 90-point mark.
There's all kinds of theories that you know, Malia and Peyton have both given me on the bench to suggest how we can get to 100 a little faster. So, and I do listen to them. I do take their, you know, suggestions into consideration. But
Hopefully,
you know,
it's just make more shots, right?
Hey, from the beginning. I mean, let's just go ahead and play the game. But we'll see how it goes.
That was Coach Helton, and just picked up career win number 375 in the last game of the regular season. Want to give him a shout out for that. Winningest active coach in the 11th region. No better guy and no better leader for this program for the past 18 years. Coach Helton and Tara Helton. The players, we've talked to them a couple of times before. They're kind of they've been the stars of this program the past the 2 years, certainly since Malia Owens came back. We are talking about Malia Owens and Peyton Riddle. Peyton wrapping up her career with the Lady Cards. She's gone over the 1,800 point mark. Malia's right there as well in her career. Just two great leaders, two unselfish leaders. People that can settle for not being the show one night and then they'll come out the next night and score 26 or 28 points. They found their role in this team on a team where all the players have had to do that. Let's see what Malia Owens and Peyton Riddle had to say.
Peyton is confident but reflective as she enters her final tournament.
I mean, it's just more like a urgency because I know, like, you know, this is going to be my last year playing and kind of want to go out, make a run, and, you know, do the best we can. And it'd be cool to make a run at state, you know, being my last year and end it off good.
Scott County hopes to build upon last year's district title and a trip to the semifinals at Regions.
This year we think we can do something special, and so I think we're really excited to kind of get to that postseason play and get on a roll. Plus we haven't played in like a week, so it'd be nice to kind of get back into it.
This tournament's, you know, very important because it's, you know, our next game, and that's what's most important. We got to take it game by game and, you know, keep doing what we're doing and playing good and gelling, having that chemistry, and hopefully things will be good for us.
The players feel that the current 17-game win streak is indicative of team bonding.
I think we're playing a lot more comfortable. It's getting towards the end of the season. We're kind of finally have like that chemistry. We're playing a lot better.
Riddle scored 27 of Scott County's 97 points against Douglas, but the Lady Cards showed balance as well.
I think especially these last few weeks we've all kind of come together and been able to play as a team because we all kind of know what our roles are at this point and we know what works, you know, and how we can get up, you know, 80, 90 a night, you know, we know what works at this point, so.
Definitely. I think we've all kind of been like, okay, so we know our roles, now we just have to work at doing our roles the best that we can.
Close wins at the Toyota Classic sparked Scott County to an impressive run at the end of the regular season.
Yes, especially because those were top 10 teams. I think it kind of gave us the confidence boost that we needed to kind of go on through the rest of the season.
The Lady Cards aren't complacent despite their large recent margins of victory.
It's confidence to a point, and then you're like, well, we can't just expect to go out there and win by 40 or whatever. We have to actually get focused in the beginning of the game and do business early, just in case, because you never know what can happen.
I think we're pretty confident, you know, just having a good season and being able to kind of start clicking here at the end. But I mean, there's always nerves because you never know what can happen come tournament time. So we always got to, you know, come out on our A game.